Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cybercore Skills course Introduction. This is a course which is going to build your foundation skills from zero to hero, covering a whole lot of areas. This video is just a quick overview of the course introduction and what you can expect to learn from the course. So first of all, why the course? We all know that cyber as a whole is a really big domain, and that you want to build confidence in a lot of different areas, and you need a lot of foundation skills before you can jump into a cybersecurity career. So to help build your foundation skills, we'll look at lesson by lesson, building those core skills from lesson 0 all the way to lesson 11, through all the way from lesson 0, which is our course introduction. So you're already halfway through this lesson. Then we'll look at the practical network implementation. So that's talking about networking and subnetting and IP addressing, communications, three-way handshake, and all those good technical stuff. We're going to practically implement that using Cisco Packet Tracer and do some exercises. We're then going to talk about virtualization and building virtual machines, and not only virtual machines, we're going to build a full virtual environment in which we can use to test and build our own virtual world. And we're going to be building virtual machines, virtual servers of different operating systems like Windows and Linux. Then for lesson 3, we're going to be building Windows Active Directories domain and services, and going to be talking about command line like PowerShell and some tools that we can be utilized within that. Lesson 4 will be covering off Linux basics and implementation. So we will be building a Linux distribution of many distributions on this virtual environment, which we further built from lesson 2 to understand the command line interface, but for Bash and the different shells we have, and using the different tools that Linux has to offer. For example, with Linux we can build things like web servers, so we're going to be hosting our own web server on that. We've then got blue teaming on lesson 5, so we're going to be building a SIEM, installing it and setting it up, and dealing with SNMP messages. We're going to be doing some digital forensics on that as well. Then within lesson 6, we're going to be talking about basic scripting for both Python and Bash. So we're going to be using some of the skills we've learned in lesson 4 to build our skill sets within scripting, talking about variables and talking about integers and booleans, and talking about scripting and loops and while loops and for loops and all the good stuff that we can really add in to add value. We're going to build our own programs, so we can build a port scanning tool, for example, or an Nmap, in addition to Nmap, to allow us to scan wider networks and more precise. Then we're going to start building from that. We've already got built up our core scripting skills. We're in lesson 7. We're going to be talking about red teaming, and we've already built it, so now we're going to learn to hack it. It's going to be in our own virtual environment, so it's going to be ethical, and we're not going to be touching anything outside of our sandboxed virtual environment that we've already built, but we're going to use what we've already built through Windows Domain and Linux and our SIEM, and leverage access through vulnerabilities and a lot of research, and using the tools what we've already learned and expanding on different tools. For example, Burp Suite we're going to use to expand on that. And then we're going to hack it and get to root effectively and pound it, as a lot of people say. Lesson 8 is cloud introduction, so we're going to be talking about AWS and Azure and Google Cloud and what's available to us and how we can expand what we've built on-prem effectively in our own virtual environment, and how we can host in the cloud. Then we're going to use those theories to do it practically in lesson 9. We're going to build all that infrastructure using DevOps and our own techniques through scripting and GitHub, for example. Then within lesson 10 we go a bit more theory, talk about governance, risk and compliance, so GRC. It's a big old topic, especially if you want to make it further in with regards to managerial and cybersecurity. So that's understanding risks, audit, the CIA triad and all that really good stuff. And then we're going to be talking about some soft skills, so interview skills, techniques, online personality development, some courses online that you can use to further develop yourself. So as a whole, it's a pretty good course. It's still in development a lot, so we're going to, as you come along, there'll be different videos added throughout the weeks. At least there'll be one a week added, and make sure you get on it, make sure you take notes, and if there's any questions, reach out. And the format of the course will be, generally each lesson will be 2 to 3 hour sessions. There'll be live demonstrations with a mixture of live and recordings, and each live will be recorded and uploaded to the YouTube channel, but also the homepage on the GitHub repository. So what will I provide you? So any PowerPoints that I generate, I'll provide. Any config files that I use, for example, within Packet Tracer, or example of ISO files with domains or Linux links, I'll provide you with those. Any notes that I take, I'll be uploading them to GitHub Repository. Links, I'll provide you with all the links that I'm using, get from my resources. So just a quick look at the GitHub repository for the Cybercore Skills course. So this is hosted on GitHub. This is almost like a front door page. So we go down, we can see the YouTube channel, we can see why not subscribe, because then you get alerts based on the videos being made. We've already got a bit of the course introduction. We've got lesson 1, which is networking, which is complete, which has got subnetting, route switching, BIOS, and more resources coming soon. We've got the resources based on what we've already covered, so that's some of the commands. I'll click on that in a minute. We've got the virtualization, so we've got theory, we've got a vSphere walkthrough, EXXI, Windows domain. We've got a full plethora of Windows domain lessons. We've got quite a few Linux lessons. We've got a few others which are currently in development at the minute. So it's 100% worth having a look. We've got some soft skills, and then we've got ways you can follow the course. And then you've got ways you can get in touch with myself if there's any need to. So brilliant. This is everything you need for starting the course. Have a look. In addition to the course, I'll take you to a quick look at one of the repositories. So this is our networking repository, which basically holds all our commands that we go through within the lessons. So this is something you can use whether it's in your real world, in your own time, or an assistance to study. Thanks very much. Held on Discord. As we can see there, it's got each channel, each lesson is broken down by its own channel, lessons 0 to 11. Then it's got its own feedback page, and you can also access it through a QR code on the screen now, or you can access it through the link. That link is good for quite a long time, so before that should be valid. If it's out of date, let me know in the comments. So thanks for watching. If you want to reach out to me, you can respond to me by email, or you can get on my personal link just there. Thanks very much. Hope you enjoy the course, and can't wait to see you there.